channels, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future.
Whoa. That guy trying to make a gaming channel in 2024? What's wrong with him? I mean, what even works on YouTube in 2024, right? Oh, well, that's a good question, actually. What does work on YouTube in 2024? Gaming videos, gaming channels, Let's Plays, those died out in the 2010s, right? Although recently, I was watching a YouTube creator thing. They put up these creator videos once every week, every couple of weeks. I don't know how really often they put them out. I don't pay that much attention to them, to be honest. But I did see a recent one where they were talking about how the gaming niche is not oversaturated and there's still plenty of room for the gaming niche. So I want to talk about that just a little bit today. This is a different format for me. I'm trying something new here with the editing and all. This is stuff I don't get out and do much, and I wanted to play around and have some fun with it. Put myself into the game. And we're not going to do the whole video like this, okay? I promise. As a matter of fact, let me just get this whole setup taken down here, and then we'll sit down and talk. Does that sound good? Okay, so this is it's a little bit better. We're moving closer here. Still got the mood lighting. You got the dark and the game in the background. Nice games. Something I've been trying to do, redesign a little bit and try new things and try different things out. So what do I mean by, games and are gaming channels worth it? What is YouTube all about in this day and age anyway, But first of all, that opening, that took a little bit of time to set up. So you should probably like the video, subscribe. All the stuff that you're not supposed to ask people to do at the beginning of the video, screw it. I'm doing it anyway. We're trying something a little bit different here. We're going to see how this works out, okay? I don't even know how long this video is going to be or what it's going to entail entirely. I just had this idea. I just had this thought that I was like, what is it with YouTube in 2024? Because so my son wants his, he has it on YouTube channel and he wants to do YouTube. He has the same dream that especially boys, but kids in the past 10, almost 15 years now have really had. It's not a dream that I had because YouTube gaming channels, by the time they started becoming big, I outgrown YouTube gaming channels. I wasn't a teenager. I was in my late 20s by the time YouTube gaming channels started to really become mainstream. And YouTube in general, it wasn't something that I grew up with. So when it came time to, I decided a couple of years ago, I was like, I want to make a YouTube channel. I want to try this whole thing out and see what it does. And this channel's been through all iterations. I've done documentary style videos. I've done photography videos where I talk about photography stuff, because I love that kind of thing. I've done weird vlogs where I sit in a cemetery. I've done other weird vlogs where I sit more in a room like this, my living room. So I've done, and then I started doing gaming stuff. And, honestly, I thought a couple years ago about doing gaming stuff. And I was like, I'm not sure if I really want to. It was around the time that the pandemic hit and everything was kind of dead. And I spent a few months as part of another community, and I really fell in love with the idea of just becoming a YouTuber. And specifically, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I felt maybe gaming was just something that was for kids only, right? And then I started getting into gaming a couple months ago. As far as YouTube's concerned, I've been a gamer for years. I've loved gaming, but as far as YouTube's concerned, is when I started really kind of pushing gaming stuff a couple months ago. It was probably around October, I think, if I remember correctly. And I thought, there's no way this is going to work, right? So, but I'm going to try it. And I was streaming on Twitch because I get to streaming on Twitch around the holidays. I get all excited about it. I'm still streaming on Twitch, by the way. But I started doing that, and I was like, I'm going to take these Twitch highlights. I'm going to download the Twitch streams. I'm going to create highlight reels. And then I'll just put them up on YouTube and we'll see what happens. And then amongst all of that, I was like, what if I put up some shorts? Because YouTube shorts are a huge deal. YouTube, the past 2.5, 3 years has been trying to keep up with TikTok. And they've been trying to figure out, what are we going to do that's going to work? And they got shorts out now. And so they've really been pushing shorts. and shorts are a way to find a new audience. As a matter of fact, since I started uploading shorts, I found several hundred new followers. And that's really cool. That got me over the 1,000 mark by late December. And I was like, yes, we got 1,000 subscribers. This is awesome. The problem is the gaming videos, the Let's Play type videos, where I get those funny little clips from. You know, I cut the gaming streams down into these short little, short 30 to 45 minute long videos. And then I take little clips from those. And so the funniest of the funny moments get put into the shorts, the funny moments get put into the highlight reels, and then we wind up with a highlight reel that a couple of people watch all the way through, but most people might watch a couple minutes of, and maybe they'll come back and watch something else. If you've watched some of my gaming videos, let me know down in the comments below. Have you watched any of them? Did you find them interesting or funny? You know, that's been the goal, was to make them funny. And you know, they were doing all right, but they weren't doing great. You know, my watch time was going up, but it wasn't going up very much. It still hasn't been going up very much until I did a commentary video kind of like this. In the middle of the night, I was like, you know, I couldn't sleep. So I was like, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm just going to record this video that's been on my mind. And I went down and recorded the video, put it up the next day, and it did really well. As far as it's gotten some comments, it's gotten some watch time and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, you know, okay, well, this stuff's doing all right. Maybe I'll make some more stuff like that. But also, I'm doing like philosophy and ethics videos. That's where my watch time has really been coming from lately, is the philosophy and ethics of games. People love that kind of stuff. So you know, when YouTube says that the gaming niche isn't saturated, what do they really mean? You know, what does it mean to be on YouTube and have a gaming channel? And what else can you do with it, right? So I was like, okay, let me really think about this. What am I looking for? What am I aiming for? What is, in 2024, what do you do on YouTube? You know, you have the big channels like the Mr. Beasts and the Film Theorists and the Markipliers and all of them that have done gaming at one point or another, have talked about games or you know, the big popular kind of stuff. But what is there now? And how do you succeed in something like that? And realistically, what I found is it's a personality thing, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you have a great personality and you learn how to edit and you work on making each video as the best it can possibly be, you know, all of that is necessary. Honestly, it's about 90% luck, though, because no matter how good you are at putting that stuff together, people still have to find your videos. You know, if they can't find the video, then it doesn't really matter how good the video is. I've got some videos on my channel that I put a ton of work into, a ton of effort into. The Legend and Tales videos from a couple years ago that I sunk my heart and soul into for research and planning and going out and filming and coming back and editing and then putting it all together. Videos that to this day still get some views and people think they're great, but weren't really making it happen. And for me, especially the past couple of years, I've had to, you know, I want to make this happen full time. I want to be able to do this full time. I'm doing it full time, but I have to be able to make a living doing it, you know, to continue doing it full time. So what's the secret? Where do you go if you want to do this? Because, you know, a lot of kids grew up in the 2010s and even today watching these YouTubers, watching people do it and, you know, wanting to do it themselves. And like I said earlier, my son wants to have a YouTube. He wants to be in YouTube. He wants to have a career making content, playing games, entertaining people. And he gets that from me. The difference being that I didn't know when I was his age that that's what I wanted to do. You know, when I was his age, I was discouraged from doing anything outside of a normal career. You know, you have to go, not necessarily get a degree because my parents weren't big on college, but you got to go out in the real world. You got to work for a real job. You got to work, you know, work for somebody else. I was never encouraged to try things on my own and to try to make something happen. And realistically, at the time, for me, it wouldn't have even been possible because, you know, my son's 13. When I was 13, YouTube didn't exist. When I was 13 in 1999, okay, the internet barely existed for home use. So, like, I didn't have the opportunities that he has today when I was that age. And I didn't know that I wanted to entertain. I didn't know that I wanted to do fun stuff like this. So this is all coming as a revelation to me. And like, what do I do? What's the next step? And, gaming, I think, is a good intro, because I think a lot of people love games. I love games. Here I am in my late 30s almost. I love video games. And I know a lot of people my age that grew up playing video games in the 90s, even in the 80s, love games and will go to YouTube. I was never one that went and watched the Let's Plays. I would go watch guides. I might watch if I was interested in buying a game to see what it's like to play it. A couple of, a little bit here and there. But I never really liked Let's Plays. And to me, today, I think, Let's Plays are a good balance, but it's not the whole thing. So if you want to be a gaming YouTuber, I'm telling you right now, one, it's a personality thing. You need to have a great personality. If you're great at the game, you might get some recognition. If you're good enough at the game to go out and become like Major League Gaming or whatever it is, maybe you get some recognition. But if you have a great personality, that's where you get the recognition. But it's more than just that. It's a combination of luck, skill, practice editing videos. Think about what you want to do, what kind of games you want to play. You don't get yourself pegged down into one game. Don't go out there and say, well, I'm going to be, I joked in October, I said, I'm going to become a full-time Minecraft content creator because, if this, the video I was working on, I was like, if this gets enough views on YouTube, I'll become a full-time Minecraft content. And for like 2 months, I was doing nothing but Minecraft. And then I kind of was like, I don't want to be known just for Minecraft, specifically because like there's a lot of Minecraft YouTubers over the past couple of years that have really kind of screwed the pooch, putting it lightly. And I don't want to fall into that type of thing. I don't want to be grouped with those people. And so what I did was I was like, okay, we're going to try some different games. And I highly recommend that, try other games, put other stuff out there, try different forms of content, do short form stuff, find your funniest moments, the things that make you laugh or giggle, at least when you're putting them together, and make those into shorts. Vertical format, you got to edit it. I would recommend, I do everything manually. I refuse to go with AI. I refuse to have an automated system do it for me. I put together my own stuff. Put together your own stuff. Put together your shorts, upload shorts. Out of a single stream, I can do a 3-hour stream on Twitch. And on a really good night, I can get 10 to 15 shorts from one stream. So I can get that one stream, and I'm doing one short a day right now. I was doing 2 a day, but I backed it down to 1 a day. So one short a day, that's almost a half a month worth of content from one stream. And that's just shorts. And then I would suggest taking some of your highlights from those videos, putting them out there. Maybe, make sure you're talking about things and have some stuff during the stream that maybe you can clip conversations or things that you talked about and make those individual videos. Do things like the philosophy and ethics that I'm doing and look into gaming and different things from different angles, figure out what interests you, and then apply that to games. And then use games to kind of help boost yourself and come up with new things. Ultimately, you can't just do gaming, even channels. I'll use Mr. Beast as an example because he's the biggest creator on the platform. He doesn't do just one thing. You have to diversify. You have to have a bunch of different things. And when you build it around your personality, that's what matters. I highly recommend that right there. If you want to be a content creator in 2024 making gaming videos, that is what you need to do. You need to sit down, come up with a plan, come up with the content plan, start with shorts, be entertaining, do streaming on Twitch. You can stream on YouTube too. I stream on Twitch mainly because like I'm already monetized on Twitch. I'm affiliate over there, and there's fun little bells and whistles and stuff like that. Twitch is a good platform at the moment. It's better than YouTube as far as streaming is concerned. And maybe that's a video that I'll make, if there's interest in that, if you want to hear about the differences between Twitch and YouTube streaming, let me know. I'll talk about that stuff because I've streamed on both platforms. I prefer Twitch for a multitude of reasons, but like stream, find something that you can do that you're interested in. If you don't have a setup where you can stream, try to record different things, try different ways of doing it. my son, to his credit right now, he's figured out a way to screen record on his phone, and he gets the audio, and he found an editing thing he does it all from his phone. He's done an amazing job. He's 13. He's still figuring things out. He's still working on it and learning the whole process, but that's where it starts. You start like that and you figure it out, and you see what's my hurdle, what's my obstacle, and then you jump over that obstacle. You find out, how do I get around this obstacle? For me, where I'm at right now, the setup that I've spent years building the setup up, right? I've got a camera here that obviously I'm recording on now, but I've got a couple different webcams that I use for when I'm live streaming and recording different things. I've got these lights here. I've got some cool stuff for the background. That's all stuff that it takes time, and you work hard and you dedicate yourself to it. Every extra dollar, every extra little bit that you can, whatever you can do, you dedicate yourself to that, and you work hard, and there's still going to be a requirement of luck. You're still going to have to get lucky. But the difference between somebody who has gotten lucky and had their stuff shown to a lot of people who makes it and somebody who doesn't make it, the difference between those two people is preparation. You can upload your first video on YouTube and it can go to 1 million people. But there's nothing for anybody to come back to. And you're not even you don't even know what you're doing editing wise. There's a lot of things that you don't know yet. So you need to take the time, dedicate the time, really push yourself, put the effort into it, and you can be a YouTube content creator. So that's what was on my mind, and I wanted to try some different things. Like I said, I had this whole setup. I had this whole thing hanging up here. I don't know that I'd even need it. I'm going to do some other tests because apparently there's my editing software has got some really cool little bells and whistles that I didn't know it had. So that's going to be something I'm going to play around with in the future. If you like this kind of video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. If you made it this far, we're at about 16 minutes. It's going to be probably 16, 17 minutes. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be. But yeah, if you made it this far into the video, subscribe. If for no other reason, subscribe for the I don't even know what the hell these are. Arcade systems in the background. I've got Pac-Man and Mortal Kombat back here. I've had these for a couple of years, and honestly, I've been looking for a way to implement them into my content in the background because old school gamer right here. I love the old school games. I grew up on Doom, Duke Nukem, Jazz Jackrabbit. Before that, Pac-Man. We had a lot of cool shit when I was a kid. Not like the best stuff in the world, but we had the games and that kind of stuff. It was home gaming was becoming a huge deal in the 90s. So we got all kinds of cool shit with that. But yeah, I've got all of that stuff. And there was something else I was going to say. I stream on Twitch. I've got a Patreon, help me on Patreon. I thought I needed a green screen. There's other stuff that I could use. Jumping over to Patreon and helping out over there. Not only do you get some cool stuff like this kind of stuff that's going to be, on Patreon before it actually goes live, but, access to some of my books and stuff like that, writings that I do ahead of time. You get to see my projects as they unfold and all that kind of stuff. Although I haven't really done a lot of the projects lately. I need to get back on track with that stuff, but I think I'm starting to figure this out now. I'm enjoying this kind of stuff. So between this stuff, the gaming stuff, the writing, school, I've got a lot going on. I might make a video just talking about all of that at some point if there's enough interest. You can figure it out. I do all kinds of stuff. Anyway, that's all I've got for this video. I want to thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.